The second question to our Unit 5 Assessment Study Guide is olive oil is a cooking ingredient. The density of olive oil is 0.92 gram per cubic centimeter. An olive farmer wants to sell bottles that contain 460 grams of oil. What is the volume of the smallest container that holds 460 grams of oil? Well, first, we want to create a table. And we're going to just list out some things we know and some things that we need to know. Let's practice annotating and finding out what's given. So they gave us the density here. They told us that 0.92 grams per cubic centimeter was the density. And even if they didn't say density, we know because density is always a unit per a cubic unit. So a mass per some kind of volume, that is density. We know the formula for density is mass divided by volume. So we know that D is equal to 0.92. And I'll add the units here. It's grams divided by cubic centimeters. So centimeters to the third power. Then we also know that we have 460 grams of oil. And grams is weight. So that's going to be our mass. So mass is equal to 460 grams. And we need to know, highlight that in blue, the volume. What is the volume? So in our need to know column, I'm going to write volume and put a question mark next to it because we need to find volume. So once we know that density is equal to mass divided by volume, if you remember, it's not on the reference table, but you can create a heart with the M and the V if we join the spaces together like such. And so we're going to replace the D with 0.92 grams per cubic centimeter, and we're going to replace the M with 460 grams. I'm just going to rewrite my formula there before I replace all the letters with the values that they gave us. So grams per cubic centimeters for density. Mass, I'll write it in green, it's 460 grams divided by volume, and I'm trying to find V. So if you remember, I can put an invisible 1 underneath the density, and then I can cross multiply. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to cross multiply, and V times 0.92 grams per cubic centimeter is going to be on one side, and on the other side we're going to get 460 grams. To solve for V, we simply need to divide both sides by 0.92 grams per cubic centimeters. And when you plug 460 grams divided by 0.92 grams per cubic centimeters into your calculator, you end up getting your volume. Also remember that the grams and grams cross out, so you end up with 500 cubic centimeters. That is your final answer for question number 2, which is choice C. And remember, we can then plug it back into D equals M divided by V. So if this was on the regions, right, and you have all these answer choices, you would just take your mass, 460, and divide by each of the answer choice until you get a density that is 0.92 grams per cubic centimeters.